Okay, so now we are going to discuss about Gauss forward central difference formula. So please note the term forward central difference formula. Means we are going to use the central difference table, but along with that we have to think about some forward concept also, because I told you alternatively the central terms are missing. For example, uh, against y0 we have theta square y0, theta raised to 4 y0, etc. The odd terms are missing. So either we can take the next term, that is theta y1 by 2, theta q y1 by 2, etc. Or we can take the previous terms like theta y minus 1 by 2, theta q y minus 1 by 2, like that way. If you are taking the next term, then it is Gauss forward central difference formula. If you are taking the previous term, then it is Gauss backward central difference formula. So consider this one. So if here we are taking x0 as the base number or pivot. So please note against x0. So x0, these are the datas. So by using x0 y0 we are going to interpolate the unknown function by using this data. This one is somewhere middle. Okay, so the data are x minus 3, y minus 3, x minus 2, y minus 2, etc., etc., x3, y3, and by using that theta y is determined. The middle of minus 2 and minus 3 is minus 5 by 2, so theta y minus 5 by 2, theta y minus 3 by 2, the middle of these two, theta y minus 1 by 2, the middle of this one, theta y 1 by 2, the middle of y0 and y1, like that way. Then by using the theta y column, we are finding theta square y. You are familiar with that. So I told you we are going to interpolate the unknown function by using the center data. So if you are drawing a straight line, then you can see that y0 is available, theta square y0 is available, theta raised to 4 y0 is available, theta raised to 6 y0 is available. That one is marked with yellow color. These data are not available, are available. I am very sorry. These data are available. But please note the theta y0, theta q y0, theta raised to 5 y0 are not available. Here an element is missing. Here an element is missing. Here an element is missing. So what we can do? Without that data, the interpolation will not be a perfect one. So if it is missing, then here we are going to use the next one. So I am going to, or we are going to use the next data, that is theta y1 by 2, theta q y1 by 2, theta raised to 5 y1 by 2. These data we are going to use. Is it okay? So please note, we are going to use the center data marked with the yellow color. Along with that, we are going to use the next odd terms marked with the red color. Okay. So now we are going to combine all these terms. That is, now we are going to take this data. Is it okay? Now by using this data, we are going to interpolate the function. Okay. So here what is the difference? In previous table, the central difference terms are used. In next table, the forward difference table, the shape is same, but instead of theta, you have delta. Okay. So please note, in order to derive the corresponding interpolation formula, we are going to replace all central difference terms with the forward difference term for a time being. After deriving that, we can convert back the forward difference terms to the central difference term. Is it okay? So please note, if you are replacing this theta y1 by 2 with delta term, what is the corresponding delta term? Theta y1 by 2, that is y1 minus y0, right, equal to what? Equal to delta y0. Am I correct? Delta y0. Is it okay? So if you are converting this one, please note what is theta? Theta is equal to e raised to minus 1 by 2 delta e raised to minus 1 by 2. theta is equal to delta e raised to minus 1 by 2. So theta y 1 by 2 is equal to theta y 1 by 2 is equal to what? Is equal to delta e minus 1 by 2 y 1 by 2. So minus 1 by 2, 1 by 2, it will become delta y0. So this term, we can replace this term with delta y0. So this is delta y0. Now what about theta square y0? So please note theta square y0. Before that, if this is delta y0, this term will become delta y1, delta y2. This is delta y minus 1, delta y minus 2, delta y minus 3. Like that way, these terms will become. Now what about delta square y0? Sorry, theta square y0. Theta square y0 is equal to, what is theta? Theta is equal to delta e minus 1 by 2. So theta square is delta e raised to minus 1 by 2 square y0. So this is equal to delta square e raised to minus 1 y0. So that is equal to delta square, what is e raised to minus 1? Previous of y0. This is y0. So previous of y0 is y1. Y minus 1. This is my y minus 1. This is y minus 1. So delta square y minus 1. Means this term is delta square y minus 1. Okay. So if this term is delta square y minus 1, this is delta square y0, delta square y1. What about this one? Delta square y minus 2, delta square y minus 3. Is it okay? So now what about theta cube y 1 by 2? Theta cube y 1 by 2 is equal to delta, theta is delta e raised to minus 1 by 2, right, all raised to 3 y 1 by 2, right. So if you are solving this, this one is delta cube, then now this one will become e raised to minus 3 by 2, e raised to minus 3 by 2, this is 1 by 2. So e raised to minus 2 by 2, that is y minus 1. So this is delta cube y minus 1. So this term is delta cube y minus 1. Okay. So this is 0, this is 0. Now we have a backward movement, so it will become y minus 1. Now we have a forward movement, so again it is y minus 1. So definitely this one is delta raised to 4. You can find it, delta raised to 4, backward movement, so y minus 2. Then forward movement, so delta raised to 5, y minus 2. Then backward movement, so delta raised to 6, y, now backward movement, so minus 2 will become minus 3. So like that way it will go. Is it okay? So all these central difference terms are replaced with the forward difference term for derivative purpose only. Okay. So this is the corresponding forward difference terms. So here you can see that this is y0. Theta y 1 by 2 is replaced with delta y0. Theta square y0 is replaced with delta square y minus 1. Theta cube y 1 by 2 is replaced with delta cube y minus 1. Theta raised to 4 y0 is replaced with delta raised to 4 y minus 2. Theta raised to 5 y 1 by 2 is replaced with delta raised to 5 y minus 2. Theta raised to 6 y0 is replaced with delta raised to 6 y minus 3. Okay. So please note all central difference terms are replaced with corresponding forward difference term. So for the purpose what we used, theta is equal to delta e raised to minus 1 by 2. That relationship we used. Okay. So now, so please note this table. We need this table, especially this central part that we need. So please note it. Now we are going to write the interpolation formula, that is yp is equal to, we are Actually, I told you we are going to write the extrapolation formula, because if xp is equal to x0 plus p into h, then that one is extrapolating formula. If xp is varying, then we can replace xp with x, then p is also variable, then it will become an interpolation formula, once I told you. So we can consider, we can consider it as an interpolation formula also, with the concept p is a variable. Okay, so yp is equal to, this is extrapolation formula, yp is equal to y0 plus, please note, by using that central difference term, okay, and that one is replaced with forward difference term. So by using the central term, or the terms lying on that central line, and if it is missing, the next data. So by using this data, we are going to interpolate. So that interpolation formula is, or extrapolation formula is, yp is equal to y0 plus, the central data is missing, so the next data is g1 delta y0 plus g2 delta square y minus 1. Now here central data is missing, so next data is taken, so that is g3 delta cube y minus 1 plus g4 delta raised to 4 y minus 2, etc. Okay, so please note the position. So yp is equal to y0 plus g1 delta y0 plus g2 delta square y minus 1 plus g3 delta cube y minus 1 plus g4 delta raised to 4 y minus 2 plus etc. So this is equation number 1. So please note this. Now we need to find the g1, g2, g3, g4. So for the purpose, take this yp. What is yp? Yp is y of xp, y of xp, right? Is it okay? So what is y of xp? Y of xp is y of x0 plus p into h. Okay, so here we can apply the Taylor's expansion. X0 is a fixed quantity, this is varying, so we can apply the Taylor series expansion. Okay, so what we can do, yp is shifted from is y0. What is y of x0? Y of x0 is y0. So yp is shifted from y0 with what quantity? With e raised to p quantity. With e raised to p quantity, yp is shifted from yp. So p is the pth next value of y0. But the interesting thing is p is not an integer, p is a fractional number. So yp is equal to e raised to p y0. And we all know that what is e? E is 1 plus delta. 1 plus delta. So what is e raised to p? 1 plus delta raised to p y0. So on this term we can apply Taylor's expansion. What is this? 1 plus p into delta plus p into p minus 1 divided by 2 factorial into delta square. Like that way we can expand this term. So please note yp is equal to e raised to p y0 plus that is equal to e is equal to 1 plus delta. So e raised to p is 1 plus delta all raised to p into y0. Now the expansion of this term is 1 plus p into delta plus p into p minus 1 by 2 factorial into delta square plus 1 plus remove this one. So plus p into p minus 1 into p minus 2 divided by 3 factorial delta cube plus etc. into y0. So this is the expansion. Is it okay? So now we can take y0 into this bracket. So we have yp is equal to y0 plus p into delta y0 plus p into p minus 1 divided by 2 factorial into delta square y0 plus p into p minus 1 into p minus 2 divided by 3 factorial into delta cube y0 plus etc. So this is equation number 2. So you can see that yp is equal to this one. This one is the left hand side, this part. Okay. Similarly, so we can replace yp with this term. Now you can see that this terms have delta y0 term. So definitely g1 is equal to p if you are comparing this. Now to have delta square y0, here we don't have delta square y0. So we have to represent delta square y minus 1 in terms of this one. That we are going to do. So take delta square y minus 1. What is delta square y minus 1 with respect to y0? Delta square y minus 1 is equal to, please note this term, what is y minus 1? That one is a previous one of y0. So delta square e raised to minus 1 y0. Delta square y minus 1 is equal to delta square e raised to minus 1 y0. Now what is e? E is equal to 1 plus delta. 1 plus delta. Am I correct? Yes. So what is e raised to minus 1? 1 plus delta raised to minus 1. So what is an expansion? We already have 1 plus delta all raised to p. The expansion is this one. So what is 1 plus delta all raised to minus 1? You can use the same thing, replace p with minus 1. So we have 1 minus delta, then plus into, what is this one? Minus 1 into minus 2. It will become 2 divided by 2. So it is plus delta square. Here what is happening? Minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. So it will become minus 6. Denominator we have 6. So it will become minus delta q. So please note delta square e raised to minus 1 y0 is equal to, this e raised to minus 1 is 1 plus delta all raised to minus 1. So we have delta square into 1 plus delta all raised to minus 1 into y0. Now we can expand this 1 plus delta all raised to minus 1. So that is delta square into 1 minus delta plus delta square minus delta cube plus etc. into y0. So now we can multiply this delta square, then we can take y0 into this bracket. These two things we can do. So what we have? Delta square y minus 1 is equal to delta square y0 minus delta cube y0 plus delta raised to 4 y0 minus delta raised to 5 y0. So you can see that this particular term is replaced with equation number 3. So please note yp is replaced with equation number 2. Okay, then this delta square y minus 1 is replaced with equation number 3. Similarly, we can replace delta cube y minus 1. These two have a relationship. If this one is delta square y minus 1, what is delta cube y minus 1? Take a delta outside. Add one more delta outside. So here we can add one more delta. So delta cube y minus 1 will become delta cube y0 minus delta raised to y0 plus delta raised to 5 y0 minus delta raised to 6 y0, like that way. Or different way you can take. I am showing another way here. So delta cube y minus 1 is equal to, again what is y minus 1? Y minus 1 is e raised to minus 1 y0. So that is by using that one is not shown here. You can find that is the final answer is delta cube y0 minus delta raised to 4 y0 plus delta raised to 5 y0 minus delta raised to 6 y0 plus etc. So this is equation number 1. We can use equation number 4 to replace this term. Okay. Now we have delta raised to 4 y minus 2. So what we have to do? Take that term. So what is delta raised to 4 y minus 2? What is y minus 2? The second previous data of y0. So we can write delta raised to 4 e raised to minus 2 y0 equal to delta raised to 4. What is e raised to minus 2? What is e? 1 plus delta all raised to minus 2 y0. So you can see that this is 1 plus delta raised to p, where p is minus 2. So you can replace p with minus 2. Is it okay? So delta raised to 4 y minus 2 is equal to delta raised to 4 e raised to minus 2 y0. That is equal to delta raised to 4 1 plus delta raised to minus 2 into y0. Now the expansion of 1 plus delta raised to minus 2 is 1 minus 2 delta plus 3 delta square minus 4 delta cube, etc. This expansion, this bracket 1 plus delta raised to minus 2 is 1 minus 2 delta plus 3 delta square minus 4 delta cube plus etc. Now outside this bracket we have delta raised to 4, then here we have y0. So we can multiply this. So please note delta raised to 4 y minus 2 is equal to delta raised to 4y0 minus 2 delta raised to 5y0 plus 3 delta raised to 6y0 minus 4 delta raised to 7y0 plus etc. So this is equation number 5, which is used to replace this term. Is it okay? So please note, after substituting equation number 2, equation number 3, equation number 4, equation number 5 in equation number 1, what we have? Means replace yp with equation number 2, replace delta square y minus 1 with equation number 3, replace delta q y minus 1 with equation number 4, replace delta raised to 4 y minus 2 with equation number 5. We have the left hand side, we have y0 plus p into delta y0 plus p into p minus 1 divided by 2 factorial into delta square y0 plus, this is not there, so plus p into p minus 1 into p minus 2 divided by 3 factorial into delta q y0 plus etc. is equal to right hand side. If you are comparing the similar term, y0 plus, first we are replacing the term, so y0 plus g1 delta y0 plus g2 into that equation 3, that is delta square y0 minus delta q y0 plus delta raised to 4 y0 minus delta raised to 5 y0 plus etc. plus g3 into equation number 4, that is delta raised to 3 y0 minus delta raised to 4 y0 plus delta raised to 5 y0 minus delta raised to 6 y0 plus etc. plus g4 into delta raised to 4 y0 minus 2 delta raised to 5 y0 plus 3 delta raised to 6 y0 minus 4 delta raised to 7 y0 plus etc. So this is equation number 6. Okay. After replacing equation number 1 with equation number 2, equation number 3, equation number 4 and equation number 5. Not replacing, by substituting equation number 2 to equation number 5 into equation number 1. Now we can group the similar terms. So here we have delta y0. Now in right hand side, here we have delta y0. So delta y0 is alone. Now if you are taking delta square y0, here we have delta square y0. So that one is alone. The coefficient is g2. If you are taking delta raised to 3 y0, here we have g2. Here we have g3. If you are taking delta raised to 4 y0, g2 is the g3 is the g4 is the. So we are grouping that way. So actually there is no need to do that. So please note, both sides we have y0. Okay, so that one is exactly matched. So no problem with. If you are taking delta y0, if you are taking the coefficients of delta raised to y0, if you are taking the coefficients of delta y0, here we have delta y0, here we have delta y0. Is there any other delta y0? No. We have only 2 delta y0. Left hand side we have 1 delta y0, right hand side we have 1 delta y0. So definitely the coefficients must be same. So please note, if you are comparing the coefficients, p equal to g1 or g1 is equal to p. So we got one coefficient, g1 is equal to p. g1 equal to p. We have an equation, what is that? Yp is equal to y0 plus g1 delta y minus 1, right? Sorry, delta y0 plus g2 delta square y minus 1 plus g3 delta q y minus 1. Like that way we have an equation. So in that equation the coefficient g1 is p. Okay. So now compare the coefficients of delta square y0. So in left hand side, this is the coefficient of delta square y0, p into p minus 1 divided by 2 factorial. Right hand side we have only one delta square y0. So what is g2? g2 equal to this term. g2 is equal to p into p minus 1 divided by 2 factorial. So if you are comparing delta square y0, g2 is equal to p into p minus 1 divided by 2 factorial. So please note, g1 is p, g2 is equal to p into p minus 1 divided by 2 factorial. Now what we have to do? We have to compare the coefficients of delta q y0. So left hand side the coefficient is p into p minus 1 into p minus 2 divided by 3 factorial. So this one is the left hand side. What is the right hand side? right hand side, here we have delta q y0 with the minus sign. So we have minus g2. That is one coefficient. Coefficient of delta q y0 is minus g2. Any other delta q y0? Yes. Here also we have one coefficient is there. So that is g3. So please note right hand side, the coefficient is minus g2 plus g3. This is minus g2, this minus sign, minus g2 plus g3. So by comparing the right hand side, by comparing the coefficients of delta q y0, g3 minus g2, g3 minus g2 equal to p into p minus 1 into p minus 2 divided by 3 factorial, right? We already have g2. g2 is p into p minus 1 divided by 2 factorial. So what is g3? g3 is equal to p into p minus 1 into p minus 2 divided by 3 factorial. That is this term. Now we can move g2 to this side. So g2 will become plus. So plus g2. What is g2? P into p minus 1 divided by 2 factorial, right? So this is g3 equal to, so here p into p minus 1 divided by 2 factorial is a common term, right? So p into p minus 1 divided by 2 factorial is common. Now here what is left? P minus 2 divided by 3 divided by 3. 2 factorial is taken outside, so divide by 3 plus here what we have? Here we have 1. So this term will become p into p minus 1 divided by 2 factorial into, so here take 3 as the LCM. So we have p minus 2 plus 3. So what is minus 2 plus 3? It is plus 1, right? So this minus 2 plus 3 will become plus 1. So it will become plus 1. So this p plus 1 is written before p into p minus 1, this one, p plus 1 into this p into p minus 1, the remaining term, divided by, already we have 2 factorial, into 3, it will become 3 factorial. So that is this particular term. Okay. So please note, now, so here we have p, then right hand side, so p by 1 factorial. If it is g1, if it is g2, denominator will become 2 factorial. Numerator, a p minus 1 is added along with p. Now compared to g2, what about g3? The 2 factorial will become 3 factorial. Denominator, this is 3, so this one will become 3 factorial. Now what is the additional one added to g2? Numerator we have already p into p minus 1, a p plus 1 term is added. So first p, the numerator point of view, p minus 1 is added, then p plus 1 is added. What about denominator? 1 factorial, 2 factorial, 3 factorial. So what about p plus 1 into p minus 1 divided by 3 factorial? That is p into, this is of a plus b into a minus b. That is p square minus 1 divided by 3 factorial. So please note, g3 is p plus 1 into p minus 1 divided by 3 factorial. Now if we are writing g4, the denominator will be 4 factorial, definitely 4 factorial. Numerator, the numerator of g3, that is p plus 1 into p minus 1. Now here plus 1 is added. Now what is the next one? Already p minus 1 is added, then p plus 1 is added. Now the next one is p minus 2. This is g4. What about g5? If it is g5, denominator will become 5 factorial. Already p plus 1, p minus 1, p minus 2 is added there. So we have to add p plus 2. So what we are doing? Adding minus terms to right hand side, adding p plus 2 to the left side. Plus elements to the left side. Is it okay? So we can derive g4. Similarly, G4 is equal to P into P plus 1 into P minus 1 into P minus 2 divided by 4 factorial. So that is equal to P into P square minus 1 into P minus 2 divided by 4 factorial. Similarly, we can write G5. I told you G5 is equal to, now a P plus 2 is added to this side. So P plus 2 into P plus 1 into P minus 1 into P minus 2 divided by 5 factorial. This is important. So this is equal to P into P square minus 1 into P square minus 4 divided by 5 factorial. This is G5. Now what about G6? This term will become 6. Now here we have to add P minus 3. So alternatively we are adding negative element, then positive element, again negative element, positive element, like that. So if it is G6, here we have to add P minus 3, then denominator will become 6 factorial. Like that way we have to proceed. Okay. So what about our extrapolation equation? So therefore, equation 1 will become, what is equation number 1? Yp is equal to y0, equation number 1 is Yp is equal to y0 plus g1 delta y0 plus g2 delta square y minus 1 plus g3 delta cube y minus 1 plus g4 delta raised to 4 y minus 2 plus etc. This is our equation. So this equation will become Yp is equal to y0 plus, what is g1? G1 is P into delta y0 plus, what is g2? P into P minus 1 divided by 2 factorial into delta square y minus 1 plus, what is g3? P plus 1 into P minus 1 divided by 3 factorial into delta cube y minus 1 plus, what is g4? P plus 1 into P minus 1 into P minus 2 divided by 4 factorial into delta raised to 4 y minus 2. What is the next term? P plus 2 into P plus 1 into P minus 1 into P minus 2 divided by 5 factorial into delta raised to 5 y minus 2. This is minus 2y. This is 0, this is 0. Then it is minus 1, then minus 2, then minus 3, like that way it will go. So this is our extrapolation equation. Yp is equal to this one. In some textbook you can see this equation. Yp is equal to y0 plus P into delta y0 plus P into P minus 1 divided by 2 factorial into delta square y minus 1 plus P plus 1 into P minus 1 divided by 3 factorial into delta q y minus 1 plus P plus 1 into P minus 1 into P minus 2 divided by 4 factorial into delta raised to 4 y minus 2 plus P plus 2 into P plus 1 into P minus 1 P minus 2 divided by 5 factorial into delta raised to 5 y minus 2 plus etc. So now what we are going to do? So I told you in some textbook we can see this one. So we are proceeding one more step. We are going to convert this forward difference terms back to the central difference term. Okay. So what is delta y0? We already go through that conversion. We converted theta y 1 by 2 to delta y0. So this term is theta y 1 by 2. We converted theta square y0 into delta square y minus 1. We converted theta cube y 1 by 2 to delta cube y minus 1. We converted theta raised to 4 y0 into delta raised to 4 y minus 2, like that way. So after converting these forward difference terms back to the central difference term, we have Yp is equal to y0 plus P into theta y 1 by 2 plus P into P minus 1 divided by 2 factorial into theta square y0 plus P plus 1 into P minus 1 divided by 3 factorial into theta cube y 1 by 2 plus P plus 1 into P minus 1 into P minus 2 divided by 4 factorial into theta raised to 4 y0 plus P plus 2 into P plus 1 into P minus 1 into P minus 2 divided by 5 factorial into theta raised to 5 y1 by 2 plus etc. So we are going to use this equation for solving problems. So please note down this equation. So here you can see interesting thing. First note this terms y0, then we have y1 by 2, forget about difference term. Alternatively we have 0 1 by 2, 0 1 by 2, 0 1 by 2, that y term y0 y1 by 2, y0 y1 by 2, y0 y1 by 2. Now what about theta? Here there is no theta, then theta is the theta square, theta cube, theta raised to 4, theta raised to 5. Okay, then what about the denominator? First one don't have a denominator, second one actually it is 1 factorial, means there is no denominator, then 2 factorial, means if it is square, theta square, this is 2 factorial, if it is theta cube, 3 factorial, if it is theta raised to 4, denominator is 4 factorial, if it is theta raised to 5, 5 factorial. Now what about p term? There is no p term, now a p is added, along with this p, a p minus 1 is added in next element, along with this p into p minus 1, a p plus 1 is added in next element, along with this one, a p minus 2 is added in next element, so p minus 2 is also added. Now along with this one, a p plus 2 is added in next element. Now what is the next one? So 2, 1, minus 1, minus 2 all are there. So along with this one, we have to add p minus 3 in next element, means associate with theta raised to 5. These terms are there, along with that we have p minus 3 also. Then we have to add p plus 3, then we have to add p minus 4, then we have to add p plus 4, like that way we have to proceed. I am saying this just because in next one, the Gauss backward central difference extrapolation. Almost same with one difference. This is y0, y here instead of 1 by 2 you can see y minus 1 by 2, then y0 y minus 1 by 2, y0 y minus 1 by 2 in Gauss backward central difference extrapolation. Okay, please note y0 y minus 1 by 2, y0 y minus 1 by 2, y0 y minus 1. Then next you can see there is no theta, theta square, theta cube, theta raised to 4, theta, that is correct. Now denominator, if it is square, theta square, 2 factorial, if it is theta cube, 4 factorial, if it is theta raised to 5, 5 factorial, like that way you can see denominator. Now p element, there is no p, then you can see p. Now next you have to add not p minus 1, p plus 1. So there is no p minus 1, instead of that p plus 1 in backward central difference extrapolation. P plus 1 into p divided by 2 factorial. Then we have to add p minus 1. Then we have to add p plus 2. Then we have to add p minus 2. Then we have to add p plus 3. Means more priority is given to the positive element, then negative element. Here what we are doing in this forward central extrapolation formula, first we are adding negative element, then positive element, then negative element, then positive element, like that way. In backward central difference extrapolation, first we are adding positive element, p plus 1, then p minus 1, then p plus 2, then p minus 2, like that way we have to go. So anyway, I think you noted this equation. Okay, so currently we are not going to do any problem. First we are going to derive the remaining two. The remaining one is Gauss backward central difference extrapolation, then Stirling's one. All these are related. That is why we are going to explain the remaining two. Okay. So first one is Gauss backward central difference extrapolation formula. We are not going to derive. If you want, you can derive that. This is similar to this one with a slight difference. Okay. So directly I am going to mention that. So Gauss backward central difference formula. So here again the central difference table is same. So for central difference extrapolation we need central data. But the problem is alternatively data are missing. Here data is missing, here data is missing, here data is missing. So what we are going to do, along with this central data, these are the central data. Wherever the central data is missing, we are going to use the previous data. So here central data is missing, so previous data is used. Here central data is missing, so previous data is used. Here central data is missing, so previous data is used. So here this one is a upward movement. First upward, then downward, then upward, downward, upward, downward. What about the previous one? Downward, upward, downward, upward, downward, upward. Here upward, downward, upward, downward, upward, downward. First we have an upward movement, then downward, then upward movement, downward movement, upward movement, downward movement. Is it okay? So we are going to use this data. So like the previous one, we can replace the central difference terms with the corresponding forward difference terms. Okay, that we can do, but that is not necessary. We can directly write the equation. This is a corresponding forward difference terms. I told you that one is not important for us. So directly we can write yp is equal to, this is the extrapolation formula required. Yp is equal to y0 plus f1 delta y minus 1 plus f2 delta square y minus 1 plus f3 delta q y minus 2 plus f4 delta raised to 4 y minus 2 plus etc. This is equation number 7. I told you we are directly going to write that. So this is the final term. So yp is equal to, so in some textbook you can see this equation, means by using the forward difference terms. I am not going to consider this one. So we are going to consider this equation. This one is the final equation. Yp is equal to y0 plus p into theta y minus 1 by 2 plus p plus 1 into p divided by 2 factorial into theta square y0 plus p plus 1 into p minus 1 divided by 3 factorial into theta q y minus 1 by 2 plus p plus 2 into p plus 1 into p minus 1 divided by 4 factorial into theta raised to 4 y0 plus p plus 2 into p plus 1 into p minus 1 into p minus 2 divided by 5 factorial into theta raised to 5 y minus 1 by 2 plus etc. So please note down this equation. The Gauss backward finite difference interpolation, Gauss backward central finite difference interpolation is yp is equal to y0 plus p into theta y minus 1 by 2 plus p plus 1 into p divided by 2 factorial into theta square y0 plus p plus 1 into p minus 1 divided by 3 factorial into theta q y minus 1 by 2 plus p plus 2 into p plus 1 into p minus 1 divided by 4 factorial into theta raised to 4 y0 plus p plus 2 into p plus 1 into p minus 1 into p minus 2 divided by 5 factorial into theta raised to 5 y minus 1 by 2 plus etc. So here how can we remember this one? y0 y minus 1 by 2 y0 y minus 1 by 2 y0 y minus 1 by 2 means starting from y0 then y minus 1 by 2 backward, then y0 backward y minus 1 by 2, then y0 y minus 1 by 2. What about theta? There is no theta. Theta is the theta square, theta cube, theta raised to 4, theta raised to 5. What about denominator? This is divided by 0 factorial. This is divided by 1 factorial. So that is why there is no denominator. Then theta square means 2 factorial, theta cube means 3 factorial, like that it will go. Then what about p term? There is no p term. Then we have a p term. Then along with this a p plus 1 is added. So p plus 1 into p. Along with this one a p minus 1 is added. So p plus 1 into p minus 1. Along with this a p plus 2 is added. So p plus 2 into p plus 1 into p minus 1. Along with this a p minus 2 is added. P plus 2 into p plus 1 into p minus 1 into p minus 2. Now what is the next element we have to add? This is Gauss backward central difference. So next one we have to add p plus 3. So corresponding to theta raised to 6, we have p plus 3 into p plus 2 into p plus 1 into p minus 1 into p minus 2 divided by 6 factorial into theta raised to 6 y0. That is the next element, like that way it will go. Okay. So this is Gauss backward central difference extrapolation. Now we are going to explain this Stirling's formula. After that we can solve problem. by using any one of these. The interesting thing is Stirling's formula is going to use, wherever the central data is missing, Stirling's formula is going to use both the next one and the previous one. So interestingly, you can see that Stirling's formula is nothing but the average of goes forward central difference equation and goes backward central difference equation, that you can see. Okay, so that we are going to explain that.